Today we're going to create this look while I'm going to talk about makeup and beauty habits that age us and what can we avoid in our 40s to not look older than our age, at least if not younger. I see a lot of women who are my age who look much older than me. I also see a lot of women who are much younger than me who look older than me as well. So let's get into it. What are the key things that I follow to make sure that I look well presented for my age, or well preserved rather? First things that I always talk about is less is more. So applying anything, including makeup, you do need to exercise minimalism. So this is the NARS foundation. This is the Natural Radiant Long Wear foundation. You can see when I was younger, I would just probably apply it just as it is. But as I'm getting old, I'm 49, I would not apply more than a dot of foundation on myself. And often I like my skin to show through. So I would only apply a thin layer of it and I would blend that in evenly. Often you see either the foundation is too thick, covering a full thickness foundation is probably not a good idea because often they tend to settle into the tiny lines we have on our face. Often they only age us rather than making us look good. So instead of going for, I need to do this, I need to do this particular step, every step of a makeup, see what your skin is like. And I would often tell people having a naturally even toned skin makes all the difference. We can have scars, we can have, like deep pigmentation. You can see I have a spot here. Trying and getting the best possible even skin tone is such a age reducing factor. So I always ask people, if you have scars, pigmentation scars, take care of them. If you have melasma being a very common one that you often see in women in their 40s, mainly due to hormonal imbalance, that needs to be taken care of. That needs to be addressed because even skin tone plays a huge factor, even if you didn't apply any makeup, to keep your self looking. One of the other things I notice, especially among Indian women, is they bleach their hair on their face. It's not a good look, especially if you have a very light facial hair compared to your skin tone. It always ages you rather than giving you the appropriate look. The second thing is, so I've applied this foundation. Often people go for that monotonous look. They don't actually add any contour because dark skinned women are often scared of pigmentation. So if you apply strategically your contour, it is not pigmentation. It's actually creating shadows on your face. I would rather have shadows in my face than monotonous. Even look at that, my face looks so flat. And if you do the monotonous makeup of just having foundation on your face and probably some kind of concealer, it is going to make your face look older than it actually is. So you do need dimensions on your face. So I've got a very strong jawline, so I'm just softening it up a bit. And those are the things you need to study your face and look at things that you want to address so you can see how different that made. The difference is basically now I have a bit more chiseled cheekbones. So I do have cheekbones, but they just disappear when you apply a lot of foundation, which just monotonizes it. And then I would just blend it in. Make sure your makeup is well blended, which is key to having a very natural looking makeup. Having a natural looking makeup is also important as we age. And then things like heavy lip filler. So you see a lot of women these days getting lip fillers done to make their lip bigger. I would say, look, lip fillers often migrate and you can see the dark lips coming on. So if you're doing lip fillers, do it in a very subtle way. Get a very good expert to do it for you. So you do have a little bit of smoothness, but it's not completely smooth, artificial looking firm lips. They just look, give you that aged look as well. Other thing that you see women doing is very dark brows. So I use a brown pencil. Same with the eyeliner. Use a brown, ash brown color if you have dark hair like me, or use a brown shade if you're going for a filler for the brows. So I try and do natural few hair strokes rather than using a powder. When I was younger, I used to use the MAC powder eyebrow fillers. I don't use them anymore because they're too even for my age. I just like a few added on strokes in my brows rather than a fully covered brow. I don't like that look. It ages you. Dark brows definitely age you. So lift your brow if you need to and apply a few strategic strokes so it does not look too stark. It still looks quite natural. This is something that I would wear every day and still try and look like I have minimal makeup. Minimalism when you do makeup is key. And I've just applied my brow gel, which is just actually reduce the intensity. I would let that dry. Long hair. So people believe that having a long hair makes you look younger. Yes, some of the faces you do want a bit of hair that makes you look younger. But if it is unhealthy and it's thinned out in the end, it actually ages you. It makes you look like you're actually going into your later stages of middle age. So I tend to keep my hair looking healthy. Have a regular trim. Bronzer, blush, all of that needs to be slightly darker, not too stark for your skin tone, because that can age. Just like gut health, one of the things that I highly recommend is having good sleep. It doesn't matter what the issue is. You not sleeping will not help it from disappearing. So I always tell people, get good sleep. I was not doing well. My skin was responding very badly when I had poor sleep issues. I used to get breakouts. I was having a terribly uneven toned skin. So this is a cream base that I'm creating. I have not applied any concealer. Sometimes I go for the powder and then apply a light concealer to even out the tone. So like I was saying, having a good sleep reduces the risk of developing under eye circles, and having a work-life balance is equally important as well. What else? So I've got a list here, so I'm just going through that. We talked about less is more. Fake lashes. Oh, that one gets me. When you are in your 40s, if you really want to have single lashes, like just a couple in the end, don't go for a full fake lash. It just ages you and you can make out they're fake as well. So having either way, I don't like fake lashes. I go for a good mascara. Even colorless mascara sometimes, or a brown mascara is my go-to. Sometimes when the rest of the face is neutral, I do go for a black mascara. Make sure that your makeup doesn't clash. Don't do a dark eyes with a dark lip. So you've got this stark kajal look on your eyes, and then you're going for a bright red lip. It just conflicts, contrasts, and ages you. So generally, I don't recommend that. If you are confident in saying all this, if you're confident you can carry off, please do it. There is no rules to makeup, like I always say, but working it and neutralizing and having one focus always works. It gives you a better look than a contrasting look. just because you have it, you don't have to wear it. And that's the same I find in terms of South Asian women wearing all their jewelry. So they have these big earrings, big necklaces in gold or silver, and it's all clashing. So if you're wearing large earrings, statement earrings, avoid using big necklaces. Generally, I don't like thick gold chains. So in Kerala, the Mangal Sutra, or the sign of your marriage is a gold chain, and often people have a lot of gold to show how affluent they are. I think it's very aging. I think it ages you quite a lot. So try and avoid that. Have one of this. If you really have to wear the chain, then keep your earrings minimalistic. Don't go extreme with or wearing all the gold you have, because you have it does not mean you have to wear it. Or you're going to your relatives. Often I see is when you want people display how much they've come financially. The women in the house wear all the gold they can lay their hands off, or even go and buy a few, which actually ages you. Jet black kohl pencil. It just when you apply it under your eyes, it just looks very stark and it ages you. And it is applicable for any skin tone. I believe that less is more. So keeping it subtle always gives an elegant look compared to a dark, stark lower and upper lash line. I do tight line though, especially the upper line, because it gives a kind of lift to the eyes. I always tight line. But when it comes to lower lash line, I keep it outside the waterline because I want the eyes to look bigger. So I always tend to go, and I stay short of this area, just underneath the lash line is all I go these days. I don't go and make my eyes look smaller because it's already drooping and I don't want it to look any smaller than it is already is. So I avoid applying kajal on the lash line, and if sometimes I do give a light color line on my lash line as well to make it bigger and brighter and white. So just like this one, this is my Charlotte Tilbury. It's a beige color and it's not pure white. I saw a brown influencer apply the Turkish makeup with a very stark white, and all you can see on his face was I like him, but just that makeup, the white eyeliner just looked too stark on his dark skin tone. He had similar skin tone to me. So you see how that enlarged my eyes. What else? Blush. So for the blush, you can use a liquid blush. So I use subtle blushes when I'm going for everyday look. I use my Lumi blush is my favorite. Now I don't apply shimmery blush on this area, and I don't do the typical butterfly ones that the young people do. I apply it on my, so sort of here. I'm not applying the highest point either. I want it to look young. I want it to look lifted as well. So drawing a line at the outer eyes and then going up towards your temple makes a huge difference. This is not a highly pigmented one. So you can see when I blend it in, I use this product, I blend it with my hands. You can see I'm not crossing the outside area of my iris. I'm just blending it in. With this blush, it's blonde. It's more like a blonde blush with a highlighter. So you don't need another highlighter, which I like. So this is a very subtle shade that I'm applying, and this would be for a more everyday kind of look. I'm going out with my sister and my kids for a meal, for an evening meal. So we're celebrating a fellowship that I have received. I got my fellowship this week, so I'm just going to celebrate that with my. The last thing I would talk about is ill-fitting clothes. So extremely tight clothes that was worn by you when you were 10 years younger, showing things and enhancing things that you're probably not I'm not saying being fat or skinny or slim or anything. I'm just talking about things that may make you conscious and make you want to pull your dress. These are things that would make you look uncomfortable. So being confident about where you're wearing also makes you look attractive as well, no matter what the age. So I generally tend to ask people to wear clothes that fit them well. Having a fit, just because they are expensive doesn't mean that you shouldn't change them and wear them for the rest of your life. Often people do that because they feel guilty about the price they pay, and they try and, but it doesn't fit you. So how is that going to make you look good? It is not about the price of the product. It's more about the fit. I would rather wear a Shein dress that fits me well than a branded Prada gown that is ill fit. Any day, being aware of your fitting, not too tight, not too loose, making sure your bra is not too hold and it's not supporting. These are the things that women need to be careful, and helps avoid aging than your actual age. So my common way of powdering is, I do see a lot of women powdering, and powder does age you. But if you're living in a humid country and you want the makeup to last, you may want to powder. How I do my powdering is, I use the loose powder. This is when it is a regular everyday wear, and I apply the powder only where I had applied concealer. That just reduces the caking. Very light coating. I always tap the excess out. You can see how much literally the powder I'm applying, just where I had applied a concealer. Then I would use a spray to set it all in. These days I'm into my flower seal the deal, and I would set it in so it doesn't look like all dry. I don't like a dry skin. A underprepared skin, a dry skin, patchy lips. These are things that age you. Like, take care of yourself. Make sure you moisturize your lip every day. And for the lip, for a neutral look, you can wear a nude lip color like this one, but you can also wear a bright one, because everything else on my face is very neutral. So how I generally tend to go is, this is my Armani. So, can you see it's a bright color, but how pretty that looks on my face. It is a bright color, but it's a very subtle bright color. This will not age me. If you want, if it's a very everyday wear, I do this as well. I just smudge that out. This is a good technique if you have small lips and you want to make the lips bigger, and you don't have to do lip fillers. Trust me, lip fillers migrate and they make you look worse than you actually were. A lot of people are now removing their fillers from their lips because the way that they migrate. That's some lip gloss as well. And if you want to go I'll let it dry and then smudge the edges out a bit. Just looking for a brush there. I might use a fan. Knowing about color theory is important as well. So if you are a neutral skin tone person, don't wear a warm tone or a cool tone. Warm tone makes me yellow and cool tone makes me gray. So I have to have everything that is basically neutral tone, being aware of your tone. So if your veins are basically green, then you are a warm tone person. If you are blue, then you are a cool tone person, but you can't see your veins, then you are a neutral tone person. You can see even celebrities, like the other day I was looking at one of those young actresses. I don't know her name, the younger daughter of Sridevi. She looks exactly like one of the Jenners, and I'm pretty sure they have the same surgeon in LA that did the surgeries, that now they both look alike. So keeping your individuality is important. Yes, it is very disappointing when you are aging. There are days that I don't feel great and I want to be my younger self, but God, I don't want to be in my 30s. I was much poorer when I was younger in my 20s. So no, I don't want to be. I love my age and accepting the number of your age, but I would never ever recommend you to act your age. That is somebody else's perception and social norms. I don't stick to social norms. It is not in my DNA. I never do anything wrong by anybody, but you can see even celebrities, like the other day I was looking at one of those young actresses. I don't know her name, the younger daughter of Sridevi. She looks exactly like one of the Jenners, and I'm pretty sure they have the same surgeon in LA that did the surgeries, that now they both look alike. So keeping your individuality is important. So that's the finished look. You can see it's all very subtle, quite well blended out, and nothing is stark. Even the red lipstick that I wore looks very French. Like this is like a French lip that I could do on my brown skin tone. And someone asked for a good finish, few seconds, 30 seconds of the finished look. So that's the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel.